Get laid and get played, just like the Sod with Garn and Old show. Welcome, Vince, to Thursday Night Garn and Old. No inside info, no contacts. No problem, Vince. How are you on this Thursday before FSU football? We're only 1 week away.
I am doing great, Ryan. I'm just going to pour myself a quick little love here. You know, Ryan, that went right onto my keyboard. You know,
Sure
Ryan,
did.
that this week is the 1 year anniversary of your boy Vince here and the better half going over to Dublin. And I figured I would kind of pay homage to that wonderful trip we had, except for the last 5 seconds of that game. That was a wonderful, wonderful trip. But here's to all of the Noles that had a great time in Dublin. We know that Farmageddon's going on this year there, and they are having a great time there, I'm sure. But here's to the Dublin 2024.
Here is to you indeed, Vince. You know, sometimes you just got to appreciate the small things in life, Vince. And we're going to get to plenty of Florida State stuff, but when you check the weather app, and I saw some back and forth about it today, but I checked two sources, Vince. When I see today's high, for instance, in Florida, being, around 95, and then generally in my mind I would say, okay, well, not a whole lot will change until game time, and it's in the middle of the day, so it's going to be, I was anticipating balls hot in summertime, right?
Yeah.
And I hope it holds. Hold. Okay. 85 degrees, Vince, as a high next Saturday.
Yep.
That is hot, but it's not balls hot. What that is an overcast or mostly cloudy sky. It doesn't feel too bad, and hopefully we avoid the thunderstorms. Although, interesting enough, Vince, this whole year, later storms here where I've been, it's been like more 6 to 8 o'clock storms, which is odd. I don't know what that's about, but how about that? 85 degrees. Maybe it's the football gods smiling upon us and giving us a little wink and a nod about what's going to happen in that game.
I would love it. And before we get too deep into that topic, I think I threw the whole show off here. I want to make sure I shout out our man here real quick, because Captain John Black of Captain Black's Fishing in Panama City Beach, you know the deal. Charter fishing, Panama City Beach. He's the guy. He's the Nole. He's the Chiefs alum. And actually, I saw a post of him. He was like parasailing or something, or hang gliding. I don't know what was going on, but the man's living life right. But if you want to live life right, give him a call. Okay. Did you lose me?
No, I'm here.
Oh,
I accidentally clicked something, Vince, for a second.
There you go.
Went full screen for a minute, and it made myself full screen. I thought it was for the window, but no, it's just to zoom in on me.
It's just a spotlight you. But so I looked at my weather app yesterday, and I noticed that today was only going to top out around the 86, 87 mark. I was like, okay, this is the perfect time for this weather to start to maybe let up a little bit. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what goes on next week. I am glad that the storm or whatever's brewing behind Hurricane Aaron is kind of turning north as well, at least as far as I can tell. But having a little bit below the 90s, below the mid 80s, would be a welcome change to what we've all been suffering through, for sure.
Vince, I just fixed my issue.
Okay, Ryan's had a video issue
for
a weird
one
weeks now, and
where you guys see me normal, but I see the top of my head only. And Vince,
that's a treat, by the way.
In the camera settings on the video, in the EVMUX settings, there's an enhance button which was highlighted, and I simply unclicked it, and I'm back to normal. Problem solved. Hey, I'm ready to party, Vince. You know why? There's no more waiting. There's no more sitting around thinking about college football and dreaming about college football. What we're going to be doing on Saturday is watching college football. And watching college football is a beautiful thing. Now, I don't know about you, Vince. I got the subscription fixed today.
I was going to ask you about that, and I'll talk more about my plan there, but go ahead.
However, I want a little tip of the pros. If you are one of those people out there, which I'm sure many people are this, where you're doing the bundle, right, with Disney Plus, Hulu, all that jazz. If you hate the ESPN app, like I very much do, and you want a better UI and easeability, for all of you out there, you can open either the Disney Plus app or Hulu app, and those channels will show up in their own little section in those apps, and they are better laid out than the ESPN football. Like the sports app that they designed this experience for, the layout of just seeing what's on those channels in a nice, easy to read fashion is better found in the Disney Plus and Hulu app showing those channels than in the ESPN app.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So, as a cliffhanger from last week, I think it was last week when we started to talk about this new option that's coming down the pike, not just for ESPN, but also Fox One. You're going to be able to get that as well. And then later on this season, you can bundle them together. You can't do it right off the bat. But I think in October, you're going to be able to bundle those two. But I said last week, I was going to have my AI friend go through all of my subscriptions and give me the most efficient subscription to make sure I get everything that I want. And it did it all for me. And so I have a nice little grid of everything I'm going to keep and everything I'm going to get rid of. And so, Ryan, I've been a DirecTV Stream fan since, early adopter from when it first came out. And, I've always been like clinging to that because I didn't want to get rid of my first time subscriber lifetime price, which wasn't really true. But now what it turns out is even if I got rid of it and I wanted to go back, I'd only be paying another $10 more than what I'm paying now. So there's really not much benefit. So your boy here is going to get the ESPN bundle with Disney Plus and Hulu. I'm going to drop the direct TV stream. All my other subscriptions I have through other things. Like I've got HBO Max through my phone.
Yep.
I've got Paramount Plus through my 247 subscription. I've got paying for Netflix separately. So I'll be able to drop my Disney and my Hulu, Hulu, and drop direct TV stream and end up with everything that I have right now for $100 less per month.
Isn't that wild?
That is craziness. So
I would
recommend everybody look into this.
Have you pitched it to the wife yet?
Oh yeah, it was a little bit of a discussion on that because it is a little more click around, so you don't have everything in the singular guide.
Yeah,
right?
You got to get buy-in here.
So I've got buy-in for it. For $100 a month, she's all about it.
I like them. Here's the thing, Vince. It's going to be more complicated, but $100 is $100, and that's a lot these days.
That is a lot of money. That's $1,200 a year, Ryan, if my math is right.
Yeah, it's almost as good as a Jet2 holiday. But I have some really great news. And Vince knows this, and Breeze in Georgia also knows this. But
this is the big news. This is the big news.
In completely negating what I said last week, your boy Big Puppies will be in Tallahassee for the Alabama game. Not only will I be in Tallahassee, but I'll be there Friday and leaving Sunday. So clocking in early, I wanted to have the buffer of the hotel stay, Vince, in case a win happens, because I have a feeling that Madison Social will be paid a visit after the game across the street from Doak, or maybe even the Piss Palace. over there at our buddy's place. You know who I'm talking about.
I know. I don't know that I've ever called it that, but yeah, the Palace.
Smoke Palace. The Smoke
Yeah,
Palace.
yeah.
Because if we beat Alabama, first of all, the environment in Doak will be. What Vince? What is
Yeah,
this
we
brings
need to
up
talk
an
about
interesting
this.
question. What
We
is
need to talk
the
about this.
biggest win that you've ever been in Doak for? And by biggest win, I don't mean like necessarily maybe the most impactful to the season. I mean like big time feel in the atmosphere, and it ends in a win.
Yeah, so I have to go back to 1993 when Florida State finally got the monkey off its back and beat the Hurricanes in Doak. That
Yeah.
was a like the stadium was crazy, but there was also this tension about it, right? Because we hadn't
Yeah.
been able to do that. And when Matt Fryer got loose behind Rohan Marley and Charlie Ward was rolling his right and caught him in stride,
Yeah.
we kind of knew at that point, and there was just this cathartic. To me, that's probably the biggest game that I can remember. I mean, there's been a lot of them, but that's the one that sticks out for me. I was going to ask you, Ryan. What do you? I mean, there's a lot of people complaining online, of course, about reduction in seating capacity. And
I've been
and
calling
hold
for it.
on, and how this is going, we're going backwards, right? And how is the stadium ever going to have the vibe and the feel and the animosity that it's supposed to have for
Yeah.
opposing teams? How do you feel about all that?
I think it's quite frankly ridiculous. I think it's not like we're doing this on an island and all the other teams are just in the whole country are staying pat in what they're doing in their stadiums. If anything, we're a little bit behind the times from other schools making similar changes and reduction of capacity, upgrading facilities, etc. So I wasn't sold on the renovation until I saw the walkthrough. And then I saw the walkthrough because when you've had years of going it, knowing the concourse by heart, like you know what it looks like when you walk in, you know what those bathrooms look like, you know what the concessions look like. And then you see that giant sphere and then the big concourse with the nice lights and the concessions and the bathrooms, and you go, okay, I am picturing myself now in a hot day, halftime at Alabama, needing to go to the bathroom and get maybe a bottle of water. And walking around that concourse versus non-air conditioned nonsense from the past where everything was like nasty and slow. Of course, I'm going to be buoyed. But the reality is, Vince, aside from 1 to 2 games a year, we've both been going to games a long time in Doak. It's been on a steady decline on those not important games, a lot of the conference games, where seats were empty. And it's a bad look on TV. And I think a reduction in capacity, while providing better experiences for those people who are coming to the games, means that it will be a lot more expensive in those big time games for someone to get tickets. See StubHub right now for the Alabama game. But what it does mean is that for those Wake Forest games, there's a good chance that that's looking a lot nicer on camera. So I have no problem with it. And to going back, I do want to answer the question. 2014 Clemson was the loudest and most. Sean McGuire. We all thought that game was in trouble. Thank God Deshaun didn't start that game. But
thank God they're snapping the ball 8 yards deep when they're on the 2-yard line.
Vince, this goes into a larger fear-mongering that I've noticed, not only among fans, but among other entertainers and podcasters in the space, where people are calling out the turf being laid out. And you saw ridiculous things yesterday. Like, we're not even going to be ready for Alabama. And today it's done, guys. So I hate to tell you guys.
Well,
what those people are thinking when they see dirt is that we're doing it the old way we did our field.
Yeah,
what they don't understand is you can set up a bowl game or a neutral site game, this is what they're using these days, guys. They're just rolling it out. It's ready in literally, they say 48 hours to like kind of like, gel everything together. But this weekend they could play on it.
Yeah.
It's not a problem.
I did some research on it because I knew that this was a thing, but I didn't
Lay and
really
play.
care. I didn't really care too much because it really didn't affect me. But I did some research on it today because I wanted to know more about it. And literally, it's grass hybrid. They cultivate it, they grow it. When it's time, they roll it up into these rolls. They put it in a refrigerated truck to keep it fresh. They take it where it needs to go, and they roll it back out. And because it's denser, it's thicker, it's healthier. It's pretty much ready to play on. I think if you give it 2 or 3 days, 4 days, that's even more so. So the thing that's going to be very interesting about this is, how many years gone by since I've been going to games where you'd look at the field sometime and you go, okay, they painted that green because the grass isn't green there, right? Like they painted green paint to make the field look more lush than it.
And sometimes it just looked rough.
And I could probably count, 5 to more than 5 times, probably closer to 10 times since I've been going to games that they were tearing it up and redoing the drainage and all kind of stuff. And it's just like they could never figure it out correctly. So I guess what's going to be happening is they're going to be doing a lay and play field every year now. So rather than fight Mother Nature, constantly all year round, and try to figure. Hey, we all know if you live in Florida, like for me right now, my grass out front is pretty great. My neighbor across the street is a disaster. Same builder, same sod, same soil. You know what I'm saying? So it is a crapshoot. So it's better, I think, just from a consistency standpoint. I mean, they got to be spending tons of money just on upkeep of the grounds just to do it the old way. So is it $300,000, $350,000 a year to do that? Sure, probably is. But how much are they spending trying to keep Frankenstein going? It seems like a better use of the money to me, because then you're always guaranteed a playing surface that the Super Bowl uses, right? That the World Cup uses, that all these, highest levels of competition rely on. So I don't have any problem with it at all. And I was watching the camera feed today.
It was fun.
It was watching them roll it out, right? Little by little
It's
by little
so
by
fast.
little. It's crazy. And the other thing, I didn't have this on the thing to talk about tonight, but I want to know more about the robot. The line painting robot. So I want to know more about this. So if you guys have any information, like you've dealt with this thing before, but I caught a couple snapshots on the feed there, and you can see this looks like a little Husqvarna mower or like a Roomba going around and painting the field markings. That is phenomenal. I can tell you, as a high school band director, which I formerly was, and I would sometimes have to go out and get the field painted beforehand, because it wasn't painted yet for the game, so we had to get the field painted. There are a lot of directors out there that actually have like lines that they snap and they hand paint it, or maybe you get a company to come in and do it. Man, having a robot do it, that's what you do.
Breeze, all you have to do, he's in the chat, says, where's the feed, the live feed? All you have to do is type in Doak Campbell live cam, and they've hosted the live cam view for the renovations ever since they started it. In fact, you can watch a time lapse from before the renovations all the way, and it fast forwards all the way through the last 2 years of the renovations. It's really cool.
Yeah, I would say it's not a live feed. They take a shot every 30 minutes.
Which is fine.
Which is fine. So you can go and look at that. And I always find it by going to Seminoles.com I go to the boosters thing up in the upper right, and then under leadership giving, there's capital projects, and then go to Doak Campbell. That's how I find it. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so that's pretty neat. But if anybody knows about the line painting robot, I'm fascinated by that. I would like to know more about that. Um, who's in the chat, Ryan?
A lot of people. At first I thought we had Philip Dumar, but it's not Philip Dumar here. Of course, we have Breeze in Georgia, who we will be seeing next Saturday. Vince, where will we be tailgating? Tell the people.
Oh yeah, lot 12. So I was fortunate enough to get lot 12 again this season. I did not think I was going to get it, but I did. We will be in lot 12.
Rub it in,
And
Vince.
yeah, I know. And if you don't know already, the lots are opening at 8 a.m. for this game only, as far as I know. But we will be tailgating in lot 12. That's by the tennis center. And there's a little breezeway there at I think there's a science building there or a chemistry building. I can't remember which building that is. But there's a breezeway there. That's where Garnet and Old is going to be tailgating. And I've heard some rumor, Ryan, that you're going to be a little Swedish chefing.
Yes, I'll be doing some cooking. I'll also be bringing some duct tape to duct tape the clicker on the door so that when it inevitably opens, it stays open for the entirety of the day. Rock and Roll Jeremy,
some Elijah Craig.
My man Jeremy from Rock and Roll. Jeremy, we will see you. We will already be partying with you. I think I'll see Jeremy on Friday, and if Vince can get his act together, and get his butt over to Tallahassee on Friday night, we'd love to get a drink with Mr. Vincent, as it were.
So we're working on that currently. We will be there Friday night. Just question is what time we're going to be there. So those of you that are in the chat, if you're going to be in Tallahassee on Friday night, reach out to us on X or whatever, and we'll see if we can coordinate some kind of meetup.
Yeah, it won't be I could tell you it likely won't be the corner pocket because that's fully loaded for Cameron and the gents. So Vince and I have a couple other places that we already like to hang out, and we'll probably have a little bit more room for people to hang out. But let's keep shouting people out. We also have Jeffrey Day, who's shouting out your love for using AI to save you money. Not Philip Dumar, but instead Philip Dugas. Miami Muff Snap in 2005.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good one. The Miami Muff.
And then Laura McCann, and Shannon makes friends with strangers in the breezeway. Yes, she does. Shannon makes friends with everyone because Shannon is a delight. Tell her I said that.
Well, hold on. Shannon makes friends. What'd you say? Shannon makes friends with strangers in the breezeway. Yes. One of the benefits of coming to hang out with us at Lot 12 is that you get to meet and hang out with the people that are way better than myself and Ryan. And that is all of our family. So all of our family will be there as well.
And Kristen may get to go, by the way, my wife.
Oh, that's fantastic. That is fantastic.
As it might be her last night at the hospital, and she might just be like,
It's all lining up, Ryan. It's all lining up for a great weekend.
What did you think of the renovations, Vince, when you saw the walkthroughs?
So, I would say first thing is that I'm a little disappointed in myself that I've not reached the booster level yet where I could get invited to that.
Oh, for the tour, because you'll be able to freely go in that area.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, I had a lot of FOMO there, but mostly it's the fear of missing out from my wallet. But yeah, it just looks clean, like it looks fresh and new and clean, and it should. I get that, but it has this modern look to it. A lot of bright colors. It had the LED lights.
Those make a huge difference, man.
They have that spear that's right at the entry point there, which is just I want to say breathtaking, but it just when I saw it for the first time, I was like, wow, that's really, really cool.
And we had not seen drawings of like that was going to be.
I had not seen that at
Yeah.
all. And so I think some of that stuff they kind of held back. So when people saw it for the first time, it would be like, what, everything wouldn't be like, yeah, I saw this on the rendering. Like, this is something that's new.
Yeah.
Those loge seats with the padded seats and the monitors and things, and
If only.
someday maybe we'll see how Garnet and Old takes off. Maybe someday, Ryan.
You know what I'm wondering though, Vince, because we all know that the renovations only covered like the home half of the stadium, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now for me that's wonderful because I'm in 120, which is right in the 50, like in the end zone. So I'll actually enter right on the first like area
Yeah.
in which it starts.
Yeah.
Now, what I don't know, and we won't know this apparently until the game starts or the game day at least, is we did have the president of the boosters on a few weeks ago, and he did say that there were renovations. There were some improvements, and he said cleanup and improvements even on the away side. But we have no idea yet what that means. It could just mean that they added some lighting, or maybe just fixed some sinks and added some new registers or points of sale.
Wait,
but
right.
he did say that there was. I don't know if you remember this, but on that call with the head of the boosters a couple weeks ago.
Wait,
I
Ryan,
said
you said the booster president was on our show.
he was, yeah.
He was?
Yeah.
Wow, if you haven't seen that show, you should go back and watch it.
Yeah. Absolutely. But you heard him say, I'm not going crazy, right?
No, he said they've done some other things in other parts of the stadium, but he didn't really elaborate on what it was.
Right. So those will be surprises. Anything, because I went into it, all this renovation of nothing's going to be touched. So you're essentially going to be like, if you're on one side of the stadium, it's awesome. And
You're
if
in
you're
the
on the
90s
other, you're
on
like,
the one side, and you're in
Yeah.
the yeah.
Now, he
Right.
did say in coming years, they're obviously going to complete the renovation, right? There's going to be different phases. The whole stadium will eventually be a beautiful concourse. Like, I have no doubt in that. Give it fast forward 5-6 years, guys. There won't be a single concourse in Doak Campbell that's not pretty. I really do believe that. But I'm interested to see. Maybe they just add some more points of sale and fix up some issues in the bathrooms and things like that. But on the other side, Vince, does that have AC?
I assume that
Because won't that be nice, man?
many parts, maybe not the concourse, maybe, I guess. I don't know. I don't
It
know.
looks like it would, right? Like you're just looking at it and you're like,
It does look like it's self-contained, right? It does. But if anybody in the chat was actually there, you can let us know whether that's the case or not. And you can also let us know, by the way, if those brisket tachos were available. What was that about, Ryan?
that's real. They posted, the official account posted that.
Yeah.
Still image. But I used
I know.
Grok, which now you can click and hold on an iPhone app on any picture on Grok and make it a live video, which is, it can be interesting. But yeah, I made a live shot of what it could look like, but that's exactly what I would be doing to it is just lathering it in sauce. But those look pretty good, right?
They looked fantastic. And it's a far cry from, back in the old days. And there's some nostalgia, about
Hot
this.
dogs.
But, I remember when my kids were real, real young, they just could not wait to get to the stadium to get the little Pizza Hut personal pan pizza in the foil tin, right? They just could not wait for that. From all the pictures that I saw from people on X or on YouTube, either doing a still photo or a video, I feel when I look at it, I feel proud of that. I think is the best way to put it. Even though I'm not going to be able to partake in those areas yet in my life. But even those of us on the home side, and even you, Ryan, because you're in the home side of the corner, right? Those bleachers were all redone, right?
Yeah.
So,
Shorter steps.
Before you had I think 18 inches for your for the backside, and depending on what the good Lord gave you, that may not have been enough room. But now I think you're at 20 inches, roughly 20, 21, and that is a significant difference. So,
And the steps are, I don't know if you noticed, a little closer together, not like climbing a mountain.
yeah. So, we started this whole conversation when I started talking about, like, how do you feel about the reduction in seating? And I knew that was coming. And I'm of the opinion that if the team is good, the stadium will be ridiculously loud. And if there's a rival, and especially at the beginning of the game, the stadium is going to be ridiculously loud. There's not many people in this world that could tell me the difference between a raucous 75,000 seat stadium and a 68,000 seat stadium. So a lot of people are just basing it on the end result number that you see, that what's the capacity. The yellers are going to be there.
Yeah.
And the yellers are going to yell, and the Chiefs are going to be there. So I am not really worried about whether the stadium is going to be rocking or not. If the team's playing well and there's a rival in town, the stadium is going to be dominant, and I have no doubts about that.
And I can't wait in the glorious renovation on the screen to hear "God bless our troops, God bless America, and gentlemen."
Yeah.
Star.
Hey,
Yeah.
Jeffrey Day, I am now $1,200 closer to the next booster level. You will get there. If I was able to take that $1,200 that I'm saving because of the subscription and put it toward the boosters and not toward other things, then you're absolutely right, Jeff. But I have a feeling that money has already been spoken for. Captain John Black is ready to kick it off. John, what was that photo I saw? Were you parasailing or something like that? I couldn't really tell what you were doing, but we've got, if you look back a little further in the comments, John, it looks like, who is it? Breeze? Yeah, Breeze and George is going to be heading your way, and he wants to buy you a beer. So you guys need to work that out.
One thing I do want to mention, Vince, is the nervousness is starting to grow for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, depending on the year, but it's not always about the game. And I'll give you an example. When we played Alabama the last time, when we were, I think, ranked number like 5 or 6, and they were 2 or 3 or something.
Yeah, the pass interference, no call.
Yeah, DeAndre Francois injury game.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't nervous about that game, but it wasn't because of bravado or I felt like we were going to dominate or anything. It was just like, okay, we know a lot about the team. We know kind of who everyone is. We already knew who Francois was, right? Because he had been with us for a year. And we finished on a high note, beating Michigan without Jabril Peppers. And
That's right, yeah.
So I went into that game with a lot of like, I have a good sense on what this team is. From an overall standpoint, I like certain things about our team, and I know I like them, and there are certain areas of the team I didn't like, and I know I didn't like them. This is the nerves come from just not knowing, and it's getting the overreading, even on podcasts that I love, Vince, that you know I love and have a great affinity for. The amount of overinterpretation and looking into something that may not even be there, as far as how someone says something or what someone says, it stems from just the lack of, we have nothing else. Like, we don't have practice footage, we don't have games. So you have to fill the air with something. It's content, and I get that part of it. But we are officially to the point now, it's the first time it hit me this week, where every show from every podcast that I like sounds the same, because they're all saying, here's my worries and here's the things I'm excited for, and let's talk about the renovation. Like, it's basically a rinse and repeat on all the shows, but it's nothing they can do about it, because there is nothing new. All there is overanalyzation of an assistant coach's demeanor after a long practice.
Right. Yeah, the smirk on his face or not on his face.
Right? Yeah, let's look. Did he have a wink in his eye? Was there a twinkle? Was he sweating profusely? Was he, that must mean this, that must mean that. And I'm here to tell you, don't read into, if you're setting your own expectations for yourself, for the season, for this game, no amount of interpretation, you watching pregame speeches, you watching coach interviews, player interviews over the next couple days and week, nothing will mean anything. If something meant something, then we would have had the greatest offensive line of all time in FSU history last year. Based on what the coaches were saying or how they were feeling. If you were listening to all the shows, including ours in certain ways, Florida State 9 or 10 wins last year, and we have a lot of question marks. Can DJ be what a good or a bad or whatever? But none of it meant anything. The fourth drive of the year, from that point on, nothing that we talked about in the preseason meant anything. Now, it's still fun to talk about.
We got to talk about something.
It's still fun to imagine, but everyone out there, and I've seen on social media saying, like, what this person said is over. They're just reading too much into it. Well, yes, because, guys, there's nothing else to talk about until we see kickoff. So what we're doing is simply playing the game that we all do. When I lay down, and I did it last night, Vince, and then finally I had to tell myself, I need to get some sleep. When I lay down and I was, like, thinking about, okay, well, how do I see this game going? And I watched that great video that X's and Noles did on Gus Malzahn's offense today. And that gets you thinking, hey, oh, man, I like the way that play looked. I don't love that there's only one read on every single play as far as passing goes. But I really like the motion. And, it starts you guessing. It starts you hoping. It starts you thinking about what that first quarter could look like, what the whole game, what the season could look like. But it's fun to talk about, but it will mean nothing in exactly a week and 2 days.
Oh, it doesn't mean anything. You're right. It doesn't mean anything, but it means it has the ability to build some momentum and some excitement for the way we're leading into the season. If you look down here at the bottom, right here, down here, there's a counter down there. We are 8 days, 19 hours, 50 minutes, and 25 seconds till kickoff. And because of our lack of or not our lack, but for the lack of the media not being able to see anything, it's all just speculation, trying to fit puzzle pieces together, and trying to figure out if these puzzle pieces actually even go to the same puzzle, right? And to me, I don't even know if it's nerves or more just like, I just want to see it. Like, I want to see it. I've heard about it enough. I've heard about Malzahn enough. I've heard about Tony White enough. I've heard about Pot Roast enough. I've heard about Coach Herb Hand enough. I've heard enough. I've heard enough about it. I want to see what it looks like. I do have a feeling, because of the adults in that room, that it's going to be a more competent look. I will probably settle on that, and from there, if that's the floor, competence, if the floor is that, then we are already worlds ahead of what last season was. Mm-hmm. And I know we're all gearing up for this first game because the first game is the first game, and we've been waiting all this time for college football to start. And not to mention, now you've got a renovated Doak, and there's been all kind of build up about that. And add on to that, well, you've got Bama coming into town, right? For the first time ever. And so you have all that going into the first game. But I got to tell everybody that however that first game goes, now I don't want to get blown out, so that would be a kick. But if we lose that game, there's a whole rest of the season ahead, and this team has to build upon itself. This just isn't a 2025 season build. Like, it's a whole new scheme, a whole new staff, a whole new mentality. Like, it's a whole new roster.
And we have a month off till ACC play.
there's going to be a whole growth that happens between Bama and Virginia. It's going to be crazy. So, yes, we are going to party crazy in Lot 12. We are going to go nuts, Ryan. My goal is to have you keeled over in the bushes before the game even starts.
That's not what you do, Vince. You got to maintain. And,
No, but
and
that, no, because I want to get some great snapshots of you really living the life. Because
I
that would
think
be
you're
great
more
for the
likely to
social
get
medias.
that after the game if we win.
Okay, so after the game, if we win that game, if some, it is possible. It is possible. It's not the odds-on favorite for that to happen, but it is a possibility. If we win that game, Ryan, we are going to make sure that whoever is in the vicinity is knowing where we're going to be, because we're going to do it big. Mahi Griller, by the way, Mahi Griller, I've already finished my Guinness for tonight as an homage to our trip to Dublin, where we got to hang out with you guys for days and days and days. So I've already done that. But if you have one, you should have one too. Captain John Black,
He looks like he's already drinking a few.
he's ready. Could we see a Heisman campaign kickoff? I have a feeling it could be. Hey, if that. Okay, so let's kind of play this out, Ryan. How does Florida, if Florida State wins that game, what is it that took place for that to happen?
I
I'll
would
let
say
you go first.
Castellanos goes off on the ground
Okay?
and has
Protects the ball.
protects the ball. I would say 2 to 3 rushing touchdowns, 1 passing, and then maybe the defense plays like really good. Like we light that kid up, that quarterback up a couple times.
And their offense has trouble getting going because they get a brand new starter.
And our kicker
their
hits like a 65-yarder.
and their running back who's hurt is not going to be in that game. I don't like to see anybody get hurt, but he's not going to be in that game. So their offense has some difficulty getting going, right? So what Captain Black is saying here is, could we see a Heisman campaign kickoff? Yeah, because I think the way you just said, Ryan, is you get to see Castellanos that is 65% run, 35% pass.
Yep.
And it all works for that game.
That's the success
then-
ratio.
And that's what everybody is. If Florida State pulls that game off, hey people, we've been in the muck. We've been laying face down in the muck for a while now. And we've been there, but the media has kind of written it all off. But if Florida State finds a way to pull that game off, and the ESPN predictors has us as a less than 10% chance, that is all you're going to hear about.
Yeah.
It's all you're going to hear about for a good 48 hours after that
Yeah,
game.
you'll also hear from the SEC shills about how they knew Bama has taken a step back post Nick Saban, and they will not even talk about Florida State. Let Paul Finebaum's the war, but we won't care. I don't think it's time to start a CP7 for Heisman website.
Please don't.
But listen, if you were to beat Bama, and I think to beat Bama, the Castellanos would had to have played well by default. You're going to be 3-0 headed into Virginia, and that'll be exciting because if we're 3-0 headed into Virginia, and well, now we got real excitement and pressure, but good pressure of like, all right, let's make this a fun one. Let's get to Miami undefeated and see how that looks. If you lose to Bama, you win the next 2 games. You head into Virginia with all right, let's see what we got. But if you beat Bama and win 2 games, you're going to go into Virginia. I'm not going to say it, but like thumping your chest a little bit, saying, "Let's go kick some ass."
That's the key. I mean, if you listen to the coaching staff, you listen to the players, they seem to be bought in culturally. It's all about the work. The guys fight. So the only thing they're missing right now is some positive success on the resume that they can say, yeah, the work that I put in is worth it and it's working. If they pull that game off, and I make no mistake, I would consider that being able to pull it out, right? I'm not going into that game thinking Florida State's got a 50-50 chance. They would be pulling that game out. If they do that, the confidence is going to be through the roof. So that would be phenomenal. Our buddy Mr. Rohan is in the chat. Abogado Rohan, tu mejor opción legal. LSU was supposed to win too. That's right. You know, teams win every week and teams lose every week, and there are upsets that happen every week. And
I know not a single one of you watching out there, not me, not Vince, not anyone. No matter what you will say now, it was in New Orleans. We were there, Vince, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not one of us. I can tell you 1.5 quarters in that game, I'm like, oh, Jordan Travis is going to play this way this season. Like, I was hoping, oh man, same old Jordan Travis, he'll run to keep us alive. He'll have to use his feet. No one, Vince, went into that game saying, my man's just going to be reading defenses and picking them apart through the air with what looked to be effortless ability.
Yeah.
Play after play after play after play. And I know, Vince, we talked about it after that game. Both of us went out of the game and went, Jordan Travis.
Yeah, like, wow, okay, the light has turned on, and it's fluid, and it's like almost like, well, they say it all the time, like the game has slowed down, right? LSU was, if you ask them, that was just going to be a nothing game for them. So yeah, we've been here before. I think Breeze brought it up too. Alabama came to Jax. I think it was Nick Saban's first year. I was at that game as well. So Florida State has been beating SEC teams on the regular for a really, really long time.
I have that newspaper clipping somewhere, Vince, still from
really
the
long time.
Finally Bowden. Finally Bowden. And then the next week, Xavier Lee played terrible. And then,
Yeah, exactly.
Dakota Fag. 3-2-1, touchdown to Cody Fag.
I miss Gino. I love Jeff Colhane, though, but I do miss Gino. By the way, Jeff Colhane was on our show, too, a few weeks ago. You should go
was
back
he,
and
Vince?
watch that one as
Jeff Colhane was on the Garden Old show?
He was.
Oh.
I mean, I don't want to...
People should go back and watch that.
I don't want to pretend like we've got some contacts now. We do a little bit every now and then.
So we got, Jeff Cameron, Jeff Colhane, head of the Boosters, head of the Chiefs. That's some contacts, right?
Yeah, we're slowly getting there. Speaking of the Chiefs, let everybody know that today was the block list was posted for the Chiefs, and what that means is for the last couple days, the rookies have been trying out, the vets have been trying out separately. They've been doing their auditions separately because you have to try out every year, and then they came together and were auditioning at the same time. And then this morning they did the final block list posting, and so the Chiefs, the 2025 marching Chiefs, have been decided on who that group is going to be, and as of today, they are performing, or they are getting ready for Alabama. As of today,
we're allowed because he said, I think on the podcast, we know what the theme is for the first.
Lady Gaga, yeah.
Lady Gaga. Isn't Game of Thrones coming soon?
I don't think so.
I don't remember. He mentioned 2 or 3 this season, but yeah, Lady Gaga, which I love Lady Gaga music. So
I know I pulled this comment up a little bit ago, but I'll pull it up again just because. Just want to I just want to thank Captain John Black for donating to the program, and not only did he donate the studio stuff behind me, but he's donating here as well, and we are not that show. But thank you, John Black. And if anybody else, we've got one. Here we go. That's how it happens right there.
Jeffrey Hill, thank you so much for helping out your boys at Garden Old. I don't expect to win, but if we were to win this game, I could see a scenario where that could happen. I would just like to see what Alabama Twitter would look like after that. Me too.
Me too. Yeah. Just seeing some people posting today about, give your score prediction for this game. Not Florida State people, not Alabama people, just regular college football in general people. And
with that, Vince, though, we have reached our super goal.
A lot of the Bama people literally have this game as being a complete whitewash. And I probably don't blame them, for feeling that way. But hopefully this coaching staff has something for those folks.
I'm going to put on my opposing fan goggles, and I do this a lot of times because I'll get excited about a game, about a Florida State game, and then I'll be like, let me pretend like, all right, let me pretend like I'm on the other side. What would I be thinking?
Ryan, and before you start, I'm going to tell everybody we're going to give away 5 memberships in about 4 minutes. So if you are on X, hop on over to YouTube so you have an opportunity to get a membership, okay? Because you can't get them on X. So hop over there. When Ryan's done with what he's about to say, I will give them away.
I remember what I was talking about.
Sorry, man.
What was I saying?
You were talking about Bama and them being.
If I was a Bama fan,
yeah,
what I would be telling other fans, like, roll tide, no, high tide actually.
Yeah, it's high tide.
Even if I was, I think Bama's, we're always winning titles, but last year, man, I don't know about this DeBoer guy. That's what I would be thinking. There was we had a lot better the quarterback last year was better than we think this guy is because he was starting. And all I would think about Florida State is, I know they sucked. And if we had played them last year, we would have smoked that ass. But I would be telling all my fellow Bama fans, I think we'll win. I feel good. But I don't know. We really don't know anything about their team. Like, new offense, new defense. All these players transferred in. So it could be, we could get ugly. We could beat them really badly, I think. But I wouldn't be shocked if it was too close. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if I was a little nervous going in the fourth. That's how I'd be feeling as a Bama fan. Confidence but man, I really don't know a lot about this team.
Well, yeah, and if you are one of the Gumps, you can't really be totally bought into the coaching staff yet, right?
No.
You can't really be. I mean, you are a proud alum, or but you're a proud fan, and you're proud of the history, and you're proud of the fact that you had probably the greatest college football coach of all time coaching your team. And so you're proud of all that, but you also know that maybe things are not where you're used to them being.
And it's a road game.
And it's a road game.
And things get weird the first game of the year.
And you also remember that you had a real hard time beating USF on the road last year.
Speaking of that, I want to remind everyone of something.
2 more minutes, we're going to hand these out. So get over to YouTube.
It's perfect time for me to give a sneaky good preview because everyone knows we're all looking forward to playing Miami. Hopefully at that point we still are, based on our performance leading up to it. But what really sets up nicely is not only kind of like how we lead into that game. Miami, in order of operations, 3 weeks in a row, plays USF, UF, and Florida State. So they're playing Florida State after, USF, who, say what you will, and it'll be a big game for them. And they tend to play, they almost beat Alabama, literally.
Yeah.
And they're trending, ever since Jeff Scott left that team as the head coach, they've been trending up. Like they made bowl games both seasons and won both their bowl games. And then they have to play UF, right? So you're going to have a big time game, Miami versus UF. I like that setup for them coming to play us because, Vince, what if, dream with me for a second, they lose either one of those. Let's say they lose to UF in a heartbreaking fashion and it was an exhausting game and very physical. And let's say we just got done housing that Virginia ass. Miami might be pretty beat up. Tired, man. That's a big stretch. If I was Florida State and we had played USF Florida and then we had to go play Miami, I'd be like, what the fuck? What are we doing?
Yeah.
You know?
I was on a show last night with Nathan Brown and Rock and Rant on the Mafia show, and he was telling me, because I don't have the Miami's schedule laid out in front of me, but apparently they've got like Florida State and then a bye, and then UF and a bye, and then Florida State and a bye. So they have two bye weeks like in that stretch too. So if you depending on how it plays out, if they end up struggling with USF, then they got to live with that for a little bit, or maybe they lose that game. Who knows? But nothing like having that weight of that weigh on you, and you can't get that energy out in a game the next week because you got a bye week. So, yeah, I don't know. We had a long discussion on that show about the ACC in general and where we think all the teams kind of slot. So, he's pretty high on the Canes, and he doesn't think that they're the best team in the league, but he does think that that this is the year. Like, if Mario doesn't get them to the playoff this year, then they're kind of pretty much done with him. So let's give away the memberships right now. So if you are watching on YouTube, hopefully you are, then you have an opportunity to grab one of these memberships to Garnold. Ryan and I have not been great about doing members-only shows. We need to be, Ryan. We need to figure that out. But in the meantime, we're going to keep giving free ones away. So here we go. They'll just show up in the feed, and if you're lucky enough to get one, then you are. Oh, Ryan's got all the sounders going. So we've got 5 people. Cody Johnson got a free membership to Garnet and Old. We've got Joe Atkinson, free membership to Garnet and Old. Welcome, Joe. Morris Simmons got a membership. Florida State till I die, by the way, Morris Simmons. We got Corey Hall, free membership. And Grant Gray, free membership. These memberships last for a month. And if you want to continue on, you can continue on from there. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But that will give you access to the members only content that Ryan and I put forth a couple times a month usually. But you can please thank, by the way, Captain John Black and Jeff Hill, you guys, if you got a membership, please thank them, because they got us over the goal, so we could make sure we could do that for you.
Why don't we, for sometime early next week at an evening one night, maybe we get Jeremy all together and we do a little, previewing the season, just kind of how we feel in week of kind of thing early in the week next week.
Jeremy, if you're still watching, let us know what nights you're available next week, and we'll do a quick members only show with you, and we'll kind of lay it all out.
We should call it Rock and Old.
Garnet and Rock and Old. Yeah, That's what we'll call it.
We're perfect on our timing today, Vince. We wrapped up the show.
I do want to wrap it up, but Ryan, this came out today. The SEC is going to go to 9 games.
We knew that was coming, but what I do think this does, and I think this is good news for FSU, let me tell you why. 2 things combined. The CFP committee saying that they're going to focus on strength of schedule more than ever and really punish those who don't have a really compelling strength of schedule and punish those who play or lose to weaker opponents, combined with the 9-game conference schedule. I think this might, guys, I'm not saying will, might move up a year Florida State's exit or willingness to pay a fee to exit the ACC, because if you're reading the tea leaves, this is the Big Two conferences saying, we're the only ones that matter. We're going to get more playoff spots, and we're going to prevent you guys from even playing us anymore because we're going to go to a 9-conference game schedule, thus self-fulfilling destinying ourselves into filling up the entire playoff, aside from maybe 1 or 2 teams, and suck it rest of the country. And if you're Florida State, you had to have known that this was potential, but I'm not sure that they knew that this was going to happen this soon. And I think this could, if I was in the administration, hasten the pace at which we're already trying to get out of this conference to maybe move it up a year to perhaps 2027 as the actual first year in another conference.
Yeah. If you look at some of the reporting on that, and there's actually a post from the SEC conference itself, that there are some bullet points about this. And one of the bullet points is that teams have to, one of their out of conference has to be a Power 4 team. And so teams like Florida State are teams like Florida and South Carolina and Kentucky and Georgia are already doing this because they have their rivalries, their in-state rivalries that they play. Yeah. But a lot of the other SEC teams do not do that. As a matter of fact, it's kind of comical, the teams that you do find on their schedules. And I'm not saying that other schools don't do that as well. I'm just pointing out the facts. But if you look at that and you go, well, how is 9 games going to work? If you are one of the people that really, really want Florida State to go to the SEC, this is a positive for that.
Yeah, because now it frees up. They have to redo the schedules anyways.
Because you got 4 teams already that are already playing an out-of-conference Power 4 team that would just become a conference game, right? That you're not going to lose because it's a rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're in that boat, you're looking at that going, yeah, okay, this might be a good sign that Florida State may be leaning that way. There's also talk that that going to the 9th game, ESPN has been wanting that to happen because they'd be willing to pay more money to the conference for them to play a 9th game. And what would they need all that money for a 9th game? Well, they might need it to be able to bring in some other teams, right? So
it could be a sneaky good news.
Yeah, right. I think this obviously has everything to do with the fact that the committee, which I cannot stand, the committee has decided that they're going to add these metrics in here, but they're not going to be transparent about it. They're just going to do it, and they're going to say,
"It's analytics, Vince. Trust the analytics."
It's analytics. This is what we're going to use, but there's no transparency behind it. And of course, all that strength of record has to do with where teams are slotted, like where they are in the rankings. So it's this self-fulfilling prophecy about the SEC being the toughest conference. Hold on. I agree that it is the toughest conference. I do. But it's not like this. It's like this. Right? So the SEC going to the 9th game, I think, is a big deal. Ryan, do you follow the thread on the War Chant message board about realignment?
No, because I'm exclusively on the 247 boards.
Okay, so I'm on both sites, I don't post ever, by the way. I just read. Um, we're all a bunch of SEC butt kissers. Okay. Not at all. Not at all. But I've been following that, and there was a particular poster on there. I'm not going to say names or anything, but he seems to be in the know. And he's been pointing toward the fact that time is of the essence right now when it comes to things like the SEC going to 9 games and some other things
Yes,
that
man.
that are really the things that are happening right now. Like he's been on that. So, and he is also of the opinion that that Florida State is already kind of knows where they're going. So, um, this could be good news to get conference realignment moving. Yes, absolutely, Daniel Gorby, Greg Woods. I got to put this up here because this couldn't be further from the truth. But I just think it's funny. Um, Ryan, would you consider me an SEC butt kisser?
No, you've been raising the flag and spearing it in their chest a million times over the last couple of years. No one is a bigger roll their eyes, spit on the SEC guy than Vince. I'm probably a little lighter because I wanted to go to the SEC. I do think it's. I'm just gonna be real. I do think it is. I don't think it's this Vince right here. I don't think it's this. I don't think it's this. I think it's somewhere between those.
Mm-hmm.
Just because when I watch Florida State play at Duke or at Wake, even if Wake is playing well or Duke last year, like, hey, pretty good team. Just adding in if we were playing Mississippi State, hold on. If we were playing Mississippi State on the road,
What a professional
which would
you are.
be like the equivalent of Duke or Wake Forest, like as far as where the pecking order of the conference is, that would be a packed house. So for me, it's not just about the quality of play that I do this. It's about the whole experience of quality of play and passionate fan base. And that's where I even though I have predicted we're going to the Big Ten, I wanted the SEC because I think when I watch SEC games, it just is a fact that the fan involvement and the money and the investment is unbelievably lopsided towards the SEC compared to the ACC teams.
Okay, but that's not what I'm talking about. Because I
Right.
agree with you on that. But what that the fandom doesn't garner anybody any rankings, right? That's nonsense. Vince might be right behind Danny Cannell when it comes. I don't hate the ACC. I
The
just
SEC.
I just see through the the propaganda. I see through it, and I will not let it lie. Like I will not let people just spout things off as being factual when it's all hypothetical
And to be
BS.
honest with you, last thing, Greg Woods, if we join the conference SEC tomorrow, Vince would never. You would never hear Vince go SEC, SEC, because that's ridiculous.
No, conference waiving. We've gone over this many times. These conference waivers are just. Uh, I don't know. You got to be a different kind of intellectual level to be waiving a conference
Vince,
thing.
do you know who this is referencing?
Yes, yes. Pete the Greek. Yeah, Pete the Greek. Thank you for reposting the stream. I appreciate it. That is awesome for you to do that.
Oh, he's talking about
Uh,
himself.
yeah, he reposted this stream.
Yeah, appreciate you,
Yeah.
man. Well,
Needs to make a shirt. If we head to the ACC, we will never we will never chant SEC. Right. Breeze and Georgia said we are not going to have a shirt that has SEC, SEC, SEC on it. Um, yeah, oh, there's good stuff coming in here now, John. That's pretty funny. Um, so yeah, keep an eye out. I'm not predicting anything. I'm just saying this is one of the dominoes that has been in the way of things moving forward, the SEC going to 9 games is one of the dominoes that's been in one of the dominoes has been in the way.
Yeah, because when you add the 9th game, they have to the scheduling team has to sit down and go, okay, we have to redo a lot of this anyways. Why don't we do it with FSU and Clemson here? That would be fun. That kind of thing. Those are the kind of conversations that might be happening right now.
Yeah. That one thing in the bullets said you must schedule a game with either the Big Ten, the Big 12, the ACC, or Notre Dame. So that's actually spelled out. And as everybody knows, Clemson has signed on to a multi-year agreement with Notre Dame. Oh, look at this. Jeffrey Hill back in with another $10. Thank you, Jeffrey. You guys,
my man.
I'm humbled by the support we're getting here. Thank you so much. Jeffrey prefers the Big Ten, but if we were going to the SEC, I don't go around cheering Big Ten or SEC. I don't do that for the ACC. I'm just ready to get out. Yeah, like I don't do that. I'm not going to do it for the Big Ten either. I'm going to cheer for Florida State and Florida State alone. On certain Saturdays, I will cheer for Georgia Southern. But other than that, it's Florida State.
Vince, we're going to have to talk because I want to, sometime this year, I would say later in the fall, tell me a game that you're going to a Georgia Southern game because I'll be an hour away, brother.
Yeah, we need to do that. As a matter of fact, we are going to game I think it's in November.
Hey, that Tailgate City that week. We'll tailgate and do Garnet Old from Georgia Southern.
Garnet Old from Georgia Southern. That's what we're going to do. My younger daughter goes to Georgia Southern. That's why I've got a secondary love there. This has been a great show, Ryan.
Next week.
Great show to everybody.
When we do this show, Vince. When we do this show next week, Vince, it'll be game time. How about that?
Ryan, look at this.
Money is rolling in tonight.
Thank you so much.
The only thing that would top all this generosity would be one mega donor hitting like $100.
Yeah. We've never had that. I imagine at some point we will.
Wait for it.
Wait for it. We're gonna stay out here. It's like the Jerry Lewis telethon back in the day where they roll the tote board. If anybody knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yes, Breeze in Georgia. We are talking about a Statesboro get-together.
Mm-hmm.
More information to come on that. Ryan and I have to coordinate that. So let's.
I will be living an hour away from Statesboro, Breeze in Georgia.
So let's actually set the table on what's going to be happening this fall real quick before we actually get out of here. Ryan has already stated he has worked out a place to sleep under. Are you under an overpass or where are you sleeping when you go to?
No, extended stay, which
okay,
it'll be all right.
It's all right, right? You're there, and that's all that matters. So Ryan will be at the Bama game. We're planning on getting there Friday evening. We're gonna if you and Rock and Noel are gonna get together for sure. If I'm there in time, I'll be joining you, but we'll let everybody know where we're gonna be. Then we're gonna tailgate in Lot 12 on Saturday. So come on over to Lot 12. Come say hi. I would say like BYOB. Like we're I don't know how many people are gonna come, so it's tough to know how much to have. And then if we're going to, my goodness, we just got to keep talking, I guess. Pete the Greek, thank you so much. Fan character laughing out loud with tears in their eyes. I think this is an emoji. That.
Yeah, they can't see it on here, but in the YouTube chat you can see it.
In YouTube chat you could see the actual emoji. But and then regardless, we're probably going to be staying Saturday night, win or lose. I know you're staying for sure. But if we win, it's going to be a big old time, and we are going to let the word out where we're going to be for that too. Then I'm going to move on from there, Ryan. So that's next weekend. Ryan, we got to figure out what we're doing for Fishweir. And I know you've got a lot going on, but if I can get you to commit to one, that would be good. So what I'm talking about there is if you live in the Northeast Florida area, Ryan and I do live shows for away games. at Fishweir Brewing in, where is that again? Murray Hill. In Murray Hill. Oh my goodness. And that place is owned by Noles. Okay, 2 Noles. So we're going to pick a game and maybe 2, but probably 1 to do there. But in general, Ryan and I are going to be going to the majority of the home games as well this fall.
Yeah, and the good news, Vince, is that the following 2 games will be much cheaper.
They will be much cheaper. Yeah.
Hotels will not be. Oh, Jeffrey Hill coming in again. My man Jeffrey, listen, now, I love you, but I'm feeling a little guilty now, man.
I'm feeling a little guilty too, actually. Of course, it would be really cool, and I know it would be too soon, baby, if we were playing Alabama and Tuscaloosa next year and we were already in a new I don't think a new conference could happen by next year.
It's not impossible.
It's not impossible, but man, wouldn't that be something?
Oh!
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? John.
My man. This has been a record breaker.
I need a moment right now.
John Black, my man.
Only because, I try to do my best to support others, and it's nice when it comes back. And we really appreciate that. And Brian, I know you do too. That's just a great way to round out the show. And we'll see, hopefully, a lot of you a week from Saturday, maybe Friday night, but a week from Saturday. This has been a great show, folks. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for all the support. I'm overwhelmed.
He's getting a little verklempt.
I am.
As Coffee Talk once said on SNL. You know what, Vince? This will be the final week. Can I tell you why? So screw ESPN eternally. Eternally means you already know it's going to be eternal. However, start next week, CBS HQ. I'll be watching that as my pregame show, as I did all last year. And it's a far superior product. And they will be in Tallahassee for the Alabama game. The reason I love CBS HQ, by the way, guys, you don't have to have a TV subscription for this. You download the CBS HQ app, and their pregame college football pregame show, like on Saturday morning, same time as game day is on, is free to stream. You don't have to have a TV subscription for that. And it's far superior. You got Danny Cannell on there. You got a lot of really great people on there.
Brian McFadden.
Brian McFadden. And so it's like, I'm not going to say it's a Noel love fest, but there's definitely an appreciation for the Noles on that show. And they're doing it live from Tallahassee, so that even makes my heart sing even more so. So absolutely, check out the CBS HQ app. So I'm going to say, let's put it to bed, because I don't care anymore. Because the last time I'm going to ever watch game day will be to see to watch Corso's.
I have to watch Corso.
Yep, one more time.
Unfortunately, but I will only watch the part where he's on. So one more thing, Peter. If we score 30, I'm feeling pretty good, actually. I'm feeling pretty good about that.
Also, I'm pretty sure. I'm not going to rep it. I was going to say, just watch a certain sausage Twitter account if we score 30.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
If we score 30, that's correct. I will, but this part will never go away. We are going to try to send Chiefs all the damn time. I will remind everybody that when Dr. David Plack and Dr. Devin Moore were on our show a few weeks ago, they let us know that the only game that they're aware of that they're going to, the only away game, is the UF game. And so let's all not be surprised when they're not going to Clemson. I don't know if it's too late for that to happen, but remember that there's a coaches club that you can donate to that goes specifically for the Chiefs to travel. They should be able to send a contingent of that group to every game. Florida State is the type of program, is the type of university that should be able to do that. And the only way we can do that is if we all contribute. So, but send Chiefs all the damn time, and don't forget to watch the Noles all the damn time, so we can get some of this money from the viewership dollars that are there.
Absolutely. But guys, it has in fact been a fantastic show. Thank you guys so much for the generosity. I want to say I'm gonna say no inside info, no problems, Garnet and Old, and Vince. Go Noles, man. It's good to have college football back.
Go Noles, week 0 is here.
See you guys. Enjoy the college football weekend. Take care. Well, now take care.